following program is rated TV MAL. It contains strong language and is intended only for mature audiences.
Everybody, this is the host of the Buzzing with Marlo podcast. As you know, it is Wednesday. That means it is Commission Talks Day. But guys, first and foremost, if you are new to the channel, make sure you like, share, and most importantly, subscribe. Hit that notification bell to stay in contact with all our platforms: Facebook, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, LinkedIn, all that. No lie, guys. You go on Google, type in Buzzing with Marlo. Most of my platforms will pop up there. Obviously, you can follow on the link tree below. Go on there, check it out. You can find us on all audio platforms as well, including, let me say it again, including Pandora. And of course, you got us on Spotify and stuff like that. But guys, it is Wednesday. A lot of stuff is going on with wrestling. A lot of crazy news has been happening. A lot of stuff has been revealed behind the scenes. I mean, it's insane. We're actually going to be on a Hollywood network standpoint with a movie being produced by a big production to make a pro wrestling video. That's going to be insane. Just there's so many positive things going on with pro wrestling. But, guys, I need to talk about the ones that are paying the bills. That's right, guys. If you feel a little sluggish, and I have been a little tired today, I'm going to have to put in a little bit of my Beach and Peach. That's right, guys. I'm talking about that W Energy, Jitterless Energy, man. Go in there. I'm telling you, if you are trying to get away from coffee, you might want some W. That's right, man. I'm telling you right now, they have so many different flavors, but I'm an advocate for Beach and Peach. I'm not even going to lie to you. Beach and Peach is my go-to, but they have so many different options. They taste amazing, guys. It's insane to believe the taste that they have, and there's not so much sugar in it, all that crazy ingredients and stuff. You at least know what's in your container when you get these tubs compared to these energy drinks that just so much stuff is mixed in. Obviously, they have shaker bottles, all that. Type in promo code BUZZ20. You get 12% off of your purchase. That is this week. Yes. Obviously, we got another one. Talking about the ones that made my comeback sensational back, and I'm talking about that Ultimum X. That's right, guys. You can check out ultimumx.com. Get in there, get you some awesome gym apparel. You can get some stuff that is not so tight, not so loose. It feels just right, guys. It makes you feel comfortable. Get yourself, you can wear them on a date night, whatever. Go in there, get you a cool shaker bottle. Guys, I will tell you right now, that's one of the top-notch shaker bottles I've had in a long time. Knowing me being a dad, my daughter can throw a shaker bottle and not shatter all over the place. That's one of them. Obviously, guys, I'm a big advocate of recovery with BCAA, and I will tell you very, very personally, I love their products very well when it comes to my BCAAs. And, of course, you got that Shred Thermotic. And, of course, guys, you type in the promo code BuzzingMarlo. You get 10% off of your purchase. So shout out to Ultimate Max and W for sponsoring us out to the awesome podcast. Obviously, guys, we got to set the ones that pay that one. That's right. I'm talking about them Buzzing with Marlo merch. Yes, sir. Bonfire / Buzzing with Marlo. Get you a hat. Get you a hoodie. Get you a tank top. Guys, let me say that again. Get you a tank top. Get you a long sleeve. Get you a hoodie. Get you a t-shirt. I know we get our shirt, we get the hats bought. I get that. But I do have t-shirts, guys. And I know with the weather coming and it's going to start being a little bit chillier around the world, you might want to rock a long sleeve, a hoodie. Ladies, we have the V long sleeves. I know those are a personal favorite for the ladies. But, guys, go in there, get you some awesome merch. And I even have the new updated Season 5 logo onto these awesome shirts as well. I know they're a little pricier, but guys, it had to be a lot of detail to get those colors on those shirts. So bear with me on that. Obviously, guys, those have been obviously to complain a little bit like, hey, they're a little bit more expensive than the other ones. But guys, I put a little bit more effort into the logo to get them on t-shirts and stuff like that. That's one reason why they're not fully on hats yet. We're getting that set up as well. Type in the promo code BUZZ20, you get 10% off your purchase. All right, guys. There it is. Shout out to the Bonfire. Shout out to Dubby. Shout out to them Ultimex. Now it's time to get some clarification going on. That's right, guys. It's Commission Talks. So you know I'm not alone. Today, sadly, let's skip to my Shanahan, my Shizzy Poo. That's right. We're gonna get a t-shirt made for him pretty soon. He might get mad about it, but you know what? I'm gonna get a t-shirt that has a big bear on it and I'll put his face on. It's gonna be called Shizzy Poo. It's gonna be a hat, a hoodie, tank top, all that. Let's do a hashtag Shizzy Poo. But first, guys, I got the boy. That man is popping some wheels. He's rocking around, man. We still waiting on that Hot Wheel deal. But guys, first and foremost, I'd like to thank my boy, the Commission's own Mr. 1130 Podcast. Beep, 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 beep. Mr. 1130, Dre on wheels.
Yo, what it do, man?
What up, bro? Goody? What's up? How you been,
excited, man? I'm good, man. I'm good. I'm doing good. I'm ready.
Hey, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Hey, we're already getting hashtag Shizzy Poo. I love it.
Hashtag Shizzy Poo.
I know he's watching this. He probably about to break his phone right now.
Hey, I'm ready.
Hey, man, even though Blackheart's not with us, we're bringing an OG back. I think we should have some fun today. Let's bring back, you got me, crazy, energetic. We got you, cool, compelling, and literally just that stylish one. We got to bring the one that's kind of a mysterious individual as well. But first and foremost, I got to thank our guest that's on here today. First, let's bring the loudest one, the hype man himself, Mr. Brian B. from the Beeline Way of Entertainment, baby. What's up, baby?
We back at it. It's Wednesday.
Yes, sir, man.
Back at it, bro. Shout out to Blackheart. Getting used to coming in here and dropping by with y'all now, man. Really appreciate it.
Shizzy Poo. We doing it. All right, man. We got different personalities right here. We're gonna have to get the one that's clearly he calls himself the Joker. I'm talking about our boy Eric. How's it going, bud?
Good to see you, boys. Warren, Shizzy Poo. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm getting a t-shirt made for it. You just watch. It's gonna be the number one sell. I will tell you this. Out of reels wise, number one trend on my my podcast lately has been Shizzy Poo.
Oh God.
So it's gonna be on a t-shirt. Exciting. It's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. But guys, how y'all doing, man? It's Wednesday.
Doing good, man.
Not too shabby.
Everybody got some energy in them. We ready to go today?
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's get it. Let's go.
Listen, you already know. It's already. I gotta compose myself. I can't let it all out immediately.
We can't waste it on the fake one over here. We gotta get it on the real day,
Right.
Every time I hear that memoir, I always talk about the thing off of Big Dad. What was it, Baby Daddy, where the girl gets mad because she wasted the real good surprise on his roommate. We wasted the good one on you. But yeah, man. Hey, a lot of stuff has went on in wrestling. My goodness. Oh man.
Seems like it's slowing down to me. I don't know. Is it? I don't know. It seems like it's starting to slow down.
I feel like the behind the scenes are getting more revealed now than what was normal. Like I feel like we just got a clarification on one particular one. I'm gonna talk about the first topic right now. Obviously, what's up, Maverick? How you doing, bud?
What's up, man?
What's going on, man? Hey, man. Maverick's in the building, guys. But first, man, the first topic, of course, everybody, it's got to be revealed finally. Triple H is fully in charge regarding creative.
Finally, I finally believe it.
Thoughts, bro.
I finally believe it because we've heard the shit.
Me and Brian been arguing for almost
Come on, Warren, please, please, Warren. Please
Can
state
we
it.
just play
We've been
that
arguing
bastard?
regarding this thing for like almost 2 years. I feel like ever since me and Brian have known each other, we were arguing about is Triple H really running this thing?
Tell you, bro. Warren used to be
Warren,
hell
we need to
bent
get the
on.
gospel music playing and everybody singing, "Oh man, oh freaking
Right into the Vinnie Mac getting kicked.
Yeah, I really feel I believe it
I
now.
mean-
I actually believe he running
Hey,
it.
I
he
mean,
got a
guys-
piece of his stock, I guess. he thought he was
think about
keeping it.
He's like, okay, we all can sit here, reminisce, the Attitude Era, blah, 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 blah. My thing is, when you now have a boss after being the man for God knows how many years, okay, and that motherfucker says to you that you are part of the reason the stock went, and he's also giving full creative to Hunter, I got one thing to say. Damn.
Yeah.
Big time
Yeah,
damn.
you know, somebody Carlito just came out and he was doing an interview and he was stating how people were saying that like, you know, he bit his style off of Razor Ramon. And he was disagreeing from it, but he literally watched the promo from the old school beginnings of Razor Ramon when he first started coming, you know, his promos that he came. And him biting the apple and spitting in the guy. And even Carlito was like, damn, that's exactly the same thing. Vince McMahon did a lot of that recycled shit, yo. He continuously used stuff throughout the years. I'm not saying he was horrible, but I am saying that you definitely saw it later on when things were supposed to be getting elevated. We were tired of that same kind of rotation. It was done for Vince, man. It's been done for his ass. But you can see it. If you've been watching this shit for a long time, you can see that shit changed, and when it changed, it was a drastic change. But then when the rumbles of Vince coming back, you started to see progression start to go backwards. You saw this shit, bro. It was like clear as day to me. You saw the shit. But we're going to see what happens now.
Well, I mean, think about it. Look how many guys you were to play off of your point. Look at this. You had Carlito sign for how fucking long? You started seeing the women at one point getting treated like it was the Divas Era 2.0.
Yeah, for real.
No, thank you.
It really was.
And before I continue, fuck you, tramp step belt. You ain't shit. If you know, you know. To me, I mean, go back to the night after WrestleMania. Look at that show this year. What usually happens at the night after WrestleMania? What do we usually see?
It's live as shit. But this one was dry. It was no story. It didn't build to anything. I mean, it was boring as hell. Honestly, it wasn't anything.
This was 5 minutes in.
Yeah, it was boring as shit.
I turned on my
that wasn't live.
And now the fact that we got Triple H in head of creative control. I mean, we have. It was when Triple H came in. I think it was last year at SummerSlam, and it was a whole lot of buzz around Triple H coming in and trying to change WWE from what Vince McMahon sort of put out there and had a bad taste in a lot of people's mouth. Then, you know, Vinnie Mac sort of came back into the phrase a little bit and pushed Triple H to the side. I guess he didn't like the way he was running stuff, but you know, I mean, I'm gonna always give credit to Vince McMahon. He's the genius of pro wrestling who put pro wrestling on the map and changed it. Like in the 50s and the 40s, pro wrestling was nothing like that it is now. And now it's like sports entertainment is real, you know, massive though. But the fact that Triple H taking over, I mean, come on, man. Like we all seen what he did with NXT, with the Black and Gold NXT, and now you start seeing.
And it was just thrown off to him too. It wasn't like a guarantee either.
Yeah, and with Triple H in control, you started seeing more in-depth storylines and more, you know, certain stuff. I seen this on TikTok, but then they showed it on Monday Night Raw, like the stuff with Drew McIntyre was talking to Rhea Ripley in the background, or either what's going on with NXT. I mean, even though Shawn Michaels is, you know, running it, but what's going on with NXT with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams? Like, that's reminding everybody what went down in 2002 with Triple H and Shawn Michaels, the whole storyline there. Just everything, though. I think it's more storytelling, and it's not just, you know, let's do some drawn-out stuff. Yeah.
I agree fully. Yeah.
So
I agree with that.
I mean, for fun, I'm with Dre on that. My only thing is, for a short stint, it looked like behind the scenes when Sean had the book, that Vince still had his hand in it and was still trying to make it like Vince had jacked off a unicorn when they called it NXT 2.0.
I think he had more than a hand in it. He was literally trying to take over. I mean, that point was Vince McMahon. He jumped back in and was trying to recraft every fucking thing. He wanted everything to be different, and he did. I mean, he succeeded in making it different. But you saw the trend. I think the most common is you can see the transition through the creativity, and that's what's crazy for people who consistently watch wrestling. WWE specifically, like you can see where the change happens. You can see just how important these storylines are, and the characters and things. Because if you don't have strong foundation behind that, that's why you had these Raws that were changed the night of, like, and then you had people going out there fucking up their lines, not knowing what was going on.
Well, look at
hard to invest in.
I agree with you, but look at why some of the talent left. Like, okay, explain to me why now. And yes, we're going to dump into it, but there are certain talent that are in AEW for a reason. Okay, and I'll leave it with this.
We're going to go with this.
Andrade has said it. Malachi has said it. They both wanted the rubber match on the main roster. Vince wouldn't do it. I know Malachi's out doing recovery for injury, that type of shit. They're going to...
Vince said it wouldn't draw.
Oh, there's that too. But the thing of it is look what you did at WrestleMania this year. That had Vince's hands all over this shit. You had Cody gone for how many months? Came back white fucking hot. Everybody expected it.
Eric,
when you
love
that
you.
curve,
I love you, but listen,
Let him put me up. Let him put me up. Come on.
Yeah, because I was about to say something too.
No. Listen, if Vince ran that, Cody would have won. That's the whole
Cody
story.
losing with
that.
Perfect decision.
I still think it was.
I think it was a perfect decision.
I mean, look at the
Cody
story now.
losing was a perfect decision, bro.
It was.
He needed, even Cody knew it. Cody literally outright said it. Like, he didn't want to walk in and just take something. He didn't want to hand it to him. We would have been dealing with Roman Reigns 18 all over again. The worst decision to do is to make somebody a champion. You have to let them establish being a champion. And Cody is one of the greatest of all time. He's definitely going to go down in history. He's top babyface. But you can't just hand that man some shit. And they would have handed him.
I'm not saying
they would have handed him that shit.
I would have
put that last comment back
job portion of it.
Maverick. Yeah.
That's my only thing, was having the bloodline interfere. That got stale, in my opinion. I would have just had
heel shit.
It got stale after Sammy.
That's heel shit. That's heel shit. He got a faction. What would it look like if you had a faction and your boys didn't run in for you?
But in a way, even though it gets boring, but here's the thing: even if it gets boring, but hold on, even if it gets boring, it still sell tickets because they still want to pay somebody to stop that group.
Yeah,
great example, guys. Now talk about it. DX. Remember how many times The Rock had lost to freaking DX? I mean, look how many times that all these guys that literally were the treasurers to stop DX. And I'm talking about DX with Road Dogg, Billy Gunn, X-Pac.
I'm talking about the newer DX, not the
newer
old
DX. Like
the
ones where Triple H and Stephanie just started running wrestling for a while.
Man, Hemsley regime, bro.
I remember that was
I remember that.
We talk about some creative stuff, even though it made us mad, but bro, it was some of the best entertainment too, because when they finally lost, you still talk about it to this day about that. That's what I see with this story.
My only thing about it was it would have made for an interesting swerve to be like, wait a minute, he got it clean. That's a rarity that ever happened. Not saying that we're not as bad.
Get it clean,
going back to the stories.
Visual-wise, he's got an interference. But other than that, yes, I get what you're saying.
I don't disagree with that. I don't disagree with you on that. My point is, it would have thrown everybody for a loop and gone.
Yeah, I agree. I get what you're saying.
Well, wait a minute, what happened?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But at the same time, also, I think
that casual fan is going to want to know where was the usual interference.
Yeah. But
fan's going to look at that.
I just don't think that afterwards it would have benefited. Like, I think that he would have run, and people would have definitely been like surprised that nobody ran in. But just think about it. Just think even how you would have thought, like, damn, why didn't anybody run in? And maybe they could have built a storyline after that, onto something.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I mean, I definitely enjoy.
I like what they're doing with it.
Yeah,
I like what they're doing right now, because right now they're far away. But the story that everyone was talking about with SmackDown standpoint, Roman went up to Cody. That's the part where you could tell Roman just benefited Cody off of that, because now it's not really Cody's focus on it. It's Roman's focus. Roman's feeling like he has to prove something.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily.
Why did Roman go directly to Cody instead of Jay?
Roman went to Cody is the fact that Cody was the one who sort of started all this mess of them becoming.
He's the puzzle piece that's been making all these jigsaws for him that he has to go through all these type of hoops, and now he feels like his family has been separated.
Yo, can I say something real quick? I just want to mention, like, Roman's been gone since what, like SummerSlam or what was it, Mania or SummerSlam?
Yeah,
we got the SummerSlam.
Yeah, the week after SummerSlam.
Listen, the opening segment of this week's SmackDown was incredible. To me, yo, and this is the part where I'm telling you right now, I'm a full-fledged Roman fan, and I've teetered. I've been not into Roman back when they were trying to push him to death. When he was with the Shield, I was Roman. But when he came out the Shield and he stayed the same Shield Roman, I was over it. I was done with it. When he became the tribal chief, I was all up Roman ass. Bro. I ain't gonna lie. I love every bit about Roman Reigns. Now, this Bloodline Roman Reigns, I was really enjoying them. Remember, in the Bloodline faction, when it was Sammy, they were getting to a point where people were starting to cheer even Roman in them. They could have swerved it and made them gave him a heavy face turn. I'm glad they didn't, but they could have. But when Roman came out, when Cena was in the ring and Roman's music hit, them people lost their mind. And I thought to myself, this guy is the face of this damn company right now, if not business right now. I'll be honest. Like, Roman is white hot. Like, there's no touching him. Even though he's had the belt for 3 years and everybody knows who's going to take the belt, who's going to do this, who's going to do that. Roman Reigns is an established dominant figure in wrestling right now. And I was excited to see him come back.
So here's the question I want to ask you about it.
Miss him.
With that. So my question is, do we see a side road here with the appearance of somebody else a few weeks back? Do we see that start getting teased now, going into Survivor Series and then going onward to Mania? Does that
particular match a basic Survivor Series type thing?
If he dropped that belt, I can see that.
Roman's not defending the title of Survivor Series. I don't see it.
You don't think so?
Not that we're aware of.
He will defend it at Crown Jewel.
Jeddah, I think.
Yeah, he's defending in Crown Jewel. Obviously, he's going against LA Knight. We know what the result is. But this is going to be big on LA Knight.
Well, here's the
X to really see if he can carry something.
Yeah.
Here's the other thing, too. I liked that they introduced Knight into the mix just a little bit, because now you're going to put him up to test. No, I'm saying with Roman, because he hasn't interacted with Roman till now. He never got to interact with Roman, is what I'm saying. So now he's going to get that shot. And you thought it was
I definitely agree. I definitely agree with what you're saying a little bit. And also, I'm gonna kind of like pick up where Brian B was saying. When Roman came out there, I mean, I got a different perspective of it. People did lose their mind, especially when he said "acknowledge me." but I felt like, it was like, to me, I felt when Roman came out, it was a similar to John Cena, but it was a lot of
Right.
boos, and I felt like it was like,
Let's go,
damn dog,
Cena.
you ain't.
Cena
No,
sucks type
Yeah,
thing.
it was
no,
noise
no,
though to me.
no.
That's what I
Yeah,
thought.
it was
It's
yeah, it was
reaction. It's
noise.
a reaction.
Yeah, it's a reaction though, but it was more so like, damn dog, you ain't been here in a minute though, but finally though, but boo, your ass still champion. That's how I got that reaction when Roman Reigns came out.
Oh,
Though.
you come to the
Of course
cookout
he
now,
is.
huh?
Yeah,
Hang on, you know the
like
reaction
white
he got?
hot and everything. Hold on. Of course
You got the
he's
Brock
very hot.
Lesnar reaction.
Yeah.
Number of years back,
he's
you
red.
remember.
Of course he's red hot. Of course he's red hot and he's Roman
And
Reigns.
look at
But
how
I think
well
them.
shorts are flowing.
Hold on. Let me.
Right,
I'm gonna forget. I ain't gonna say
bring
shit
them
else.
hot
Like I'm
wings.
gonna literally forget. What I'm saying is that I think they threw LA Knight all the way into the fray right
Oh.
now because
Yeah.
he's either
He's
sink
organic right now.
sink or swim. But this is the opportunity for LA Knight though, for them to see if he can still be this top babyface after taking this big loss against Roman Reigns though.
Yeah.
And of course, someone gonna come into the match and cheat. That's what Roman Reigns is. That's what the bloodline is. It's a heel faction. Of course, we want to see Roman
Yep.
Reigns do it straight up. And I think that's the difference. Well, and that's another thing, an alternative with Gunther and Imperium. I think Gunther championship reign is more dominant than anybody
Oh, yeah,
championship
of
reign
course.
because it's
He's
like,
there. He's
dude,
present.
like you gotta like, bro, it's like, come
You
on,
can't
give
beat
him
him.
your best shot. You can't
Yeah,
beat
you
him.
can't beat him.
You
You can't beat him.
cannot beat him. And Roman Reigns, I mean, of course he's the champion, he's the dog, he's been champion over 1,000 days or whatever, but we ain't really seen Roman, defend his title. We know it's gonna come to an end soon. But I think for me, Gunther championship reign, and every time he defended is more in fucking insane than anything else because the match
Whoa,
he
Yeah.
had with Bronson
F-bomb.
Reed,
Woo!
I was like, whoa, like come on. But just to narrow
Yep.
it down, Triple H and Creative Control,
Shoosh.
I think he's gonna push a whole lot of more different people and
Yeah.
also push more storytelling than what we've seen sort of with Vince McMahon. And looking like Shayna Baszler, who was in NXT, but badass woman. And for the
Yeah.
last several years when Vince McMahon was doing his thing, she didn't get a chance. Now she had a match with Rhea Ripley, even though it ended in a DQ. But the fact that she's having this opportunity now in the women's championship picture, it says it all with a lot of
The names
different
and
people,
lights.
though.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Very true.
Yeah, but
storytelling
the other thing
is number one.
Dre, and you mentioned Shayna. I mean, Shayna had been NXT Women's Champion a few times, lost to Rhea, so there's still that bitter of I'm gonna get this bitch. I still
Yeah.
got that in the back of my head. When Shayna was doing the thing with Nia Jax, oh good lord, and all the shit that she's had to go through the last couple of years, I'm sitting here going, Vince, you have a gold mine. Hunter knew that. Dre
Shit.
is right. The
I don't
shit
think
that
Shayna
they're
and
doing
Rhea is
now is
top.
a whole
Right.
new level.
I'll be honest. I mean, I think Shayna's good for. I think she needs to be built up for a while first. I
Yeah,
don't think
of course
she's
she.
a good fight
I,
yet.
She
I
needs a
think they need
build.
to
She needs
rebuild. She needs to
Hard
rebuild
build.
Shayna, but when she was in NXT, and a lot of people didn't watch NXT, but I was definitely into her when she was NXT Women's Champion.
Queen
Like
of Spades, yeah.
I'm breaking everybody. So it lost that interest over several years. Where being in
Yep.
tag teams, we're doing like garbage stuff. So everybody looked at Shayna and was just like, oh, okay. But me, I was always a big fan of her, and to actually see what they do, especially over a couple of other women, like maybe like
Yeah.
Nia Jax. So I'm always, with Shayna. So
Yeah, I also had a real like kind of messed up view on Shayna already because I've been following Shayna since she was fighting. So I remember when she was on Ultimate Fighter talking mad shit, and Juliana Pena shut her ass
a
down.
lot of Bellator fans. She brought a lot of
I
mixed
was
martial
way
art
before her.
fans to wrestling because of her.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, she did.
yeah.
I mean, you gotta think Shayna came in there.
She wasn't
and
that good of a fighter.
she
I'll be honest
encouraged-
with
No, I mean, but you could tell Shayna had that style to where wrestling was going to be her calling, just the way that she was in the octagon and stuff like
Mhm.
that. And she already acknowledged this. She really was in pro wrestling, but this was the only way for her to get into fighting was to do mixed martial arts. And she wanted to study her craft to get back into pro wrestling. So that was a cool way to get herself into the public spotlight. And I mean, look at who she brought in. She brought Mina Shafir in. She brought Ronda Rousey to freaking come in here and work in WWE. Even though as much people want to give her crap, like, I'm sorry. Yes,
Ronda could have brought herself though. Honestly, though, come on. Ronda's
she
introduced her, but Ronda
off.
was Ronda. You feel me? Like none of them was anywhere near Ronda's level.
I think that's what they really thought they were able to do. You know, like we just said, you got to recreate Shayna Baszler. I think that's what they thought they could do with Ronda Rousey, and it did not go the effect that they needed. Even though the promos were good, the match not so good. But horrible. I thought just at a compelling aspect, like with Shayna now. Obviously, with Triple H running the asylum in a way, I feel like Triple H is going to have that control standpoint. Like, look, I'm not bearing. This is about to be a whole different thing. Like, this is not the Shayna Baszler y'all saw playing all my hole with Nia Jax. This is going to be literally legit Shayna Baszler, where she was going in the ring with Asuka in NXT, going in the ring with all these top-notch girls. The one that stopped Bayley when she had her NXT championship reigns at those times. Like, it was those little things. Like, she went head up with Asuka a lot on NXT. If anybody don't remember those matches, like, Shayna was that girl on NXT for a long time. If they could bring that Shayna in here, I mean,
another thing, you know, not even just, you know, with the women's division, we seeing what Triple H is doing, like superstars like Chad Gable. You can see him being Intercontinental Champion within a year or 6 months. You know, just a lot of great opportunity that I see what Triple H is doing as far as storytelling. And, you know, one thing he did do with making Cody Rhodes, and I don't know how frequent Cody and Jay is going to be on SmackDown after they lost the tag team titles on Monday night.
I don't know what
but I thought it was I don't know what that was about, but I thought it was a great. I thought it was a great way. I thought it was a great way to tell that story with not having seen Roman Reigns and Cody Rhodes face to face since the night after WrestleMania, and also Jey Uso. But when Jay came out there, his eyes was locked on Jimmy. Roman came out there more so just to be like, okay, all right, you want to fuck shit up? Okay, all right, just to let you know, I'm Tribal Chief. I whoop your ass at WrestleMania. I'll do it again, and that's that. But that's a little. They gave us a little sample of that on SmackDown. So
you ain't getting none of that potato salad today,
bro.
That's all I got to say on that.
Hey, Dre,
Dre, that I want to propose to you is with the women's tag team titles. What does Hunter have to do to reboot that whole disaster?
Well, me personally, I think the women's tag team titles are cursed. So I think they just need to slow sell it. To be honest with you, like it seems like every women tag team who's became women tag team champions, either one of them got hurt or something else had happened to them. Regardless of it was Sonya Deville, Chelsea Green. Before that, it was Liv Morgan, Raquel. You know, it's just like, what's going on here? So it's just like, I don't know. And then the women tag team titles are supposed to appear on all three brands, and unfortunately, they just be on Raw sometimes. So
barely that.
All lost up with that.
So, do you think there's a chance to reboot that part of the division, or?
I mean, look what Baron Corbin's getting. Look at all the stuff that he's doing on NXT now. He's getting more reutilized. Like, he's getting to the point where you could see Baron Corbin being a dominant bad guy. Yeah. I mean,
I love his motorcycle entrance and reintroducing his old music.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it was something different because you've been seeing Baron play with these so many different hats. And this is something I will use Baron as a great example. Like, yes, as bad as that thing was with Karrion Kross, yes, he should have said something, but you also got to look at it like, okay, if you want that, let me play around with it. Let me do my thing with it. Not, okay, let's go dead set and do this and make me look absolutely ridiculous. That's something I wish that so many people would do. And I think Triple H is going to have that acknowledgement like, hey, we might give you something that's not what you want, but show me what you want out of what I'm giving you and take it and run with it.
Right.
That's something like I feel so many different wrestlers need to do. And you know, a great example, and this is like with sports, you know, with that transfer portal in college, man. Yeah, You're not going to be guaranteed to make on that starting roster. But okay, the way the athletes are now is like, oh, I can just go and transfer this week and go to a school, even though I might not make that team, but I'll just keep transferring until I make a team. Like if people just realize, okay, yes, I got the wrestling down. Now I need to find this character. I think Triple H is going to have that right mindset for us. So, yep. But before we put next topic, so everybody wants to say, like, what major superstar do you know really can make that impact for Triple H being ahead of creative?
Ooh.
I mean, it's a couple of people, man. Like
That's a couple of
LA
people.
Knight to be one of them. You know, when
I think LA Knight just came organically. It wasn't even nobody in creative. It just
no.
LA Knight showed up and it took it.
Yeah, and I know. I'm just saying with Triple H in creative control,
was
I feel like he's gonna, push LA Knight. So I think LA Knight, he'll Drew McIntyre. I would love to see that.
Let me say this real quick, Dre. Because what you said before, I wanted to say it like you said. Even when I was on Commission Talks last time, I said this. Remember, I said I love LA Knight. He like you guys are saying, he organically became a big deal. He didn't. Nobody pushed him. Nobody made him. He was, even when he was bad, people were starting to kind of turn and start cheering for him. They loved they love all of that. But like you said, bro, and I said it last week, LA Knight going up against Roman right now, I'm not ready to see it yet. I'm sorry to say it. It's too fast. They threw him into it too fast.
But
I mean,
but this is what they're gonna do.
Even as a
this
test,
what they're gonna. I think this is what they're going to do, though. Obviously, the Bloodline is a heel group. You got Roman, you got Jimmy, you got Solo. One of Jimmy or Solo is going to get involved. So with him losing, everyone is going to even boo the Bloodline even more. So we're going to like LA Knight and want to see him win. But yes, I do agree that I think it's too soon. But I think like I said, it's an opportunity to see.
It's a trial and error thing. Like
I mean, listen, hold up, real quick. Let me say it real quick. I think that they should have had LA Knight dethrone Gunther. I think that would have been a smarter decision. I think with him being,
I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like that's what's going to happen.
I feel like that would have been a better decision. There's too much going on with the Bloodline. LA Knight don't need to be
that would have been good
to take a loss at that.
If they do it in a positive way.
What's up, Tina? But here's my thing. Go back a minute. Why didn't you do that when he was facing Theory? You could have done it there. Yeah, why didn't they do it there?
I like what they're doing with him right now. I like what they're doing with him right now. Keep him what he's doing.
Yeah, I would have definitely said, take if they were to get LA Knight to go up against Gunther, I think that would have been a humongous story.
Appreciate it. Hope you
I think it would have been. We'll see. It's an idea, but yeah,
no,
it would let him build too.
I'm not disagreeing with you. What I'm saying is, you had one key moment when you were dealing with Austin Theory. Small spark. Now you have a bigger chance to do it with Gunther.
Yeah.
My thing is,
Gunther's not facing
right.
How
do you build that one though? Where is going to be that? Because we know how good he is.
They ain't slapping the Aquaman out of Roman yet.
I definitely think that would have been a perfect opportunity. That would have killed two birds, yo. Because who's going to take out Gunther? LA Knight would have been a perfect opportunity. I think they missed it with that.
In a weird way, I would love Gable to do
Crown Jewel. Who gives a fuck about Crown Jewel, man? I mean,
I think maybe there'll be a change in the Intercontinental title or something like that. Because obviously, like we just said, who's really caring about Crown Jewel? If a title changes in Crown Jewel, that is that show now.
It's got to be the U.S. title will change like that. I can see that. Ray losing it to Logan Paul, maybe. God. That could be a deal.
Logan Paul with a 10-foot. Never mind.
No, he's a great performer, bro.
Man, bro.
He's a great fucking performer.
I would love
you might hate him. You might hate him, but that fucker is doing amazing in the work. He's doing amazing work in wrestling.
I'm not arguing that, but I like his brother.
Hey Ray, we on straight through the ropes tonight at 9 if you down. Sorry, I'm plugging on y'all shit. I'm sorry.
No, you good. That's the thing about Commission Talks. We're always about
LA Knight would be one, but who do you pick in like a tag team or even the women that's gonna do what Warren's saying? Who's
You
going to
gotta
be
get
that?
women tag teams for sure before we talk about tag team shit. There ain't no women's tag
Oh,
team.
They gotta have
absolutely.
some solidifying
One of the
tag
biggest
teams, like
things.
literally, like
Yeah.
They have no tag
Caitlyn
teams
Carter
right
and the girl from
Carter,
American Ninja Warriors only really a tag team, honestly.
Yeah, you don't even see them backstage segments every week. You know, they ain't doing shit. Standing around having fucking coffee talk. But I'm saying, like, there's a lot going on. Like we said, like the first question you guys got, Triple H's creativity is going down, and there's going to be a lot. You see, Tegan Knox is starting to get pushed a little bit more. The interaction between NXT and Raw and SmackDown, everything's kind of intermingling and giving people a lot more time to shine. I think that's going to be a difference maker too. I think you bring up a good point too, Eric. Like to introduce the tag titles. Get them shits back on all 3 shows. Let people who ain't doing shit
just like they're doing with the NXT title. That's perfect what they're doing right now.
Yeah, man.
Perfect. Because it's advertising. I will tell you this right now. As much people want to talk about him, Dominic has made the most positive impact for NXT in a long time. Because Dominic is making you watch the show to punch him in the face. That is what you're wanting to see every time you watch it.
A little bit now. I mean, yeah. A little bit of it is having you watching. Look here, I'm tuning in to be honest with you, is seeing what happened with Carmelo Hayes and Trick Williams, though.
What I'm saying is with the Trick, North American title, how many people hold that title that made you go, "That's why I watched this show"? It hasn't been often with that title.
Yeah, but you see, the thing about what Dominic though. You see, the thing about Dominic and how they are able to just use him on all 3 brands is because one thing, he comes out and he gets massive heat. You get massive heat. So that's the thing about Dominic though. And it's cool, man, especially being there live or even watching it, hearing every time he tries to speak and the whole arena boos him out, the arena or whatever. But
it's getting louder every show too. That's even the crazier part.
Yeah. And for me, I think it's the more like we said with this, and we've been on it for a little bit, but the in-depth storytelling with what they doing in
that's
NXT,
nuclear heat.
Yeah.
It's fun, man.
Organic heat, and that's something that
Dominic.
I will say this with LA Knight. This is a trial run to see if he really can carry something.
That's all it is.
Yeah, but that's a trial run at the fucking advanced level. Like, it's not a trial run. You know what I mean? Like, it's a trial run.
I mean, you got John Cena's presence, so they're not going to like deteriorate and kill him off after this match.
Yeah.
Look, that's what I see out of all of this, though.
That's what I think they see that as too. It's like, he's been here for so long.
Back there.
LA Knight is obviously not winning. It's going to be a reason why LA Knight loses. Someone's going to cause him the match, and then that's the storyline. He's going to go in as in
Cena caused the match.
On his shoulder. Well, I don't know, but that would be great. But he's going to. That would be great, but I think
he needs to do a heel turn before he's done.
Hold on. I think LA Knight will use that chip on his shoulder to bounce back. He's already said he'll never do it. And saying that, okay, man, you caused me my match with the World Heavyweight Champ or the WWE title or whatever, regardless if he wasn't going to win or not, he'd get back to that though. But he's not winning. This is just something to just give LA Knight something, obviously not, to do. And also like a little test though, but somebody's gonna cause him the match. Whether it be,
but Dre, like you just said, just on your side, like you're saying, bro. Like, but don't you think that somebody who is potentially getting organic, like love and support and dominant support, like this guy is getting cheers like Daniel Bryan, bro. Like he's literally blowing up.
He is Daniel Bryan this generation.
I think that's the perfect intelligent for them to take a risk of saying, "Hey, we're gonna put a automatic fall on you just to try to give you something like and put you in a high caliber."
Now that's interesting. But that's interesting that you brought up though. I remember when Daniel Bryan was red hot, and it was so many moments where they just pulled Daniel Bryan from under us, and the crowd just kept eating up Daniel Bryan and eating up. When he had a matchup with Randy Orton, they had to stop the match because Daniel Bryan was injured. Daniel Bryan wasn't even in the Royal Rumble. I don't think he was in the Elimination Chamber or something like that. It was just every moment they just kept pulling the rug from under Daniel Bryan, even though he just kept coming back and making the most out of it. And I think that's what they're going to do with LA Knight. They're going to obviously give him these opportunities, even when he had the opportunities of trying to become United States champion. And everybody was like, what the hell are they doing? And they didn't give him United States championship. They just pulled the
More
rug
Money in the
from us.
Bank.
And even Money in the Bank, man. And people just kept eating up LA Knight. So I think with this moment, LA Knight is gonna make the most out. Yeah, he's gonna make the most out of it. They're gonna pull the rug from under him again.
What's wrong, guy?
People are gonna keep eating up LA Knight.
Right.
That's how I feel, though.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I definitely can see it. I mean, I just hope that it doesn't get squashed, man. I think shit with Roman.
I mean, look if you watch all the past Daniel Bryan matches, what made Daniel Bryan relevant?
He was good.
The 18 seconds. That's why fans got behind him, because they were like, how dare they do that at WrestleMania to him?
Really?
How
I don't
dare
think that's what got him over. I think Daniel Bryan is
That's what started the whole yes movement. That's what started the yes movement.
I don't know. I don't know if I'm remembering that correctly then, because I remember Daniel Bryan literally continuously was, first of all, he was an asshole. When there was that whole vegan goat shit or whatever, and he had the face, he was doing the no stuff. He was, I don't know if this is before Kane. Daniel Bryan had a whole bunch of artillery that was kind of just letting the fans get behind him. He was smaller guy.
Punk leaving was the big thing for him. And honestly, before Triple H was a head man of it, Triple H was very responsible of getting Daniel Bryan to what he was. John Cena was so behind him as well. Those two guys are what really got Daniel Bryan's stardom to get rising, because they saw something in Daniel. Because they said, Daniel Bryan reminded them of, people might not agree to it. Shawn Michaels said it reminded him of him. Everybody thought he was too small. They thought he wasn't going to be able to hang with everybody. He wasn't going to be able to do these things. And you saw, honestly, still one to this day, one of the main WrestleManias we still talk about is Daniel Bryan's. The Yes-a-Mania.
Underdog story. Everybody loves the underdog story, bro. Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, remember when Daniel Bryan started getting that big push, that was when Cena got injured, and people were kind of like LA Knight now, naturally are just started getting behind Daniel Bryan because he had a lot of character. He was good in the ring. He was small, but he was still holding his own. It's an underdog story. Same thing with Kofi Mania. It's an underdog story. Kofi was there forever. He didn't get the chances. It's always an underdog story. People that go under. I don't feel like LA Knight falls under the category of underdog story. He kind of does, because he's got a lot of longevity in the industry, but not in WWE. So
you didn't see that with the Miz.
The Miz is one of the most underrated, slept-on fucking superstars in wrestling history. But at the same time, he's not
Hall of Fame speech. Miz is going to be a reckoning for everybody's recognitions every single time.
Miz is incredible, bro. On the mic, and not so much ring skills, but just as far as longevity.
Hold up. That match he did with LA Knight, he carried LA Knight in that match.
Yeah, I mean, he's been doing this shit for 30 years. He better be decent, but I'm saying he's not. You're not watching him for his ring ability. Yeah, you're not watching him for his ring ability like that. I mean,
Miz.
To be honest, we all are fans of wrestling here, and I think with this whole topic here, I think we are more fans of.
It makes it exciting. It's making it something to feel.
Yeah. But that's what drove us in, is the storytelling, though.
Yeah,
now,
for real.
If we got 8 matches on the card, that's cool, though. But what story?
What's gonna happen?
What's going to happen?
Shit, yeah.
And I think necessarily, I tune in for the wrestling. I'm like, oh yeah, that's gonna be a nice match, though. But man, tell me some story, and that's what really moves it on, though. I mean, I don't think
the weird thing about me, I love promos more than the matches at times now, because I watch so much wrestling. I do the damn thing, so it's like you're doing it so much. What makes you different? That's the biggest thing. I remember when I saw somebody go to a WWE trial, they were like, yeah, you got the look, you got these things, but what makes you stand out to that small guy that I consider we could sign right now?
That's my whole point, is that just about everybody, not everybody, but just about everybody could wrestle, but can you stand out and be something different? Real fast though. You got a team of 52 players on a football team, right? Everybody got a jersey, everybody got football pads, and they got a helmet though. just about you could distinguish that all 52 players are football players. But if you have some charisma or you stand out, then that makes you a different. That makes you sort of a superstar, and people could be they can resonate with you. So the wrestling is wrestling. That's cool. Everybody the DDT now. Everybody do a super kick. But can you tell me a fucking story and make me interested and develop?
And that's Miz.
Become
that's Miz.
And that's the Miz.
That's Miz.
That's the Miz.
He's a dominant character.
Some of his best work has been with LA Knight right now. In a while,
LA Knight over the few years or whatever.
Oh, he shot on LA Knight. No one tunes into the Miz matches and be like, "Oh man, like I can't wait to see him." No,
thank you. That's what I'm saying. Exactly.
And be like, "What ignorant shit he gonna do today?" Like,
you watch it to get him punched in the face. That's what you watch it.
Pretty much, like his character. Yeah, what he's gonna do. Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. That's exactly how I feel. That's what I mean. I'm not trying to diss him. I'm just saying honestly, even with LA Knight, he's not. I'm not watching thinking he's gonna pull off an AJ Styles, Seth Rollins 5-star killer. I'm watching because I can't wait to see my favorite guy kick ass. And what is he gonna do? Stone Cold, The Rock was really good in the ring, but these guys weren't like phenomenal technicians.
They were great in the ring, but when they got into their character standpoint, that's what really transcended and changed them.
And that's how I'm seeing this current roster. There are certain talent now coming out of their shell.
They're being more of an attraction. Like, look at the match that Ricochet just did. Triple H is now making you say, hey, man, this guy's not just a guy that can dance in the ring. This guy can be a character, be these things. Honestly, Ricochet could be a hell of a heel right now, in my opinion. I think that's something I would love to see.
A one-off. Don't get pissed. Bring the Prince Puma persona one time only, but make him heel with Conan.
No.
Because Conan knows how to make a heel. Like
Ricochet fucking boring to me, yo. I'll say it. I said it, all right?
He's got to get his boring. I want to say one thing. He can dance in the ring. That's what he is.
That thing he got is Samantha Irvin. I said it. What the fuck?
Hey, you're right, Brian B, though. Real fast, I want to say one thing about Ricochet, though. After SummerSlam, Ricochet, I felt like Ricochet should have still went up. It seemed like when Ricochet had that big match with Logan Paul, he just stayed steady. Logan Paul made a good point.
In a way.
I don't hold on.
Logan Paul won up Ricochet in that match. That's scary.
Yes, he did. But let me finish real fast though. Logan Paul made a great point. I don't really need this. You need it more. When Ricochet had that matchup, of course it was beautiful and all that like that. But Ricochet haven't done nothing after that besides do a 450 and do all these incredible moves. That's what's up. But I think Shinsuke wasn't going to lose. He just came out of the program with Nakamura, and he's hot, though. I still think you need a mouthpiece, but Ricochet, though, I think if somebody, like he gets some wins and some momentum behind him, just prove that he just can't just do 450s out of the stand. Or
I'm fucking with Dre tonight, yo. I'm fucking with Dre. Dre my tag partner tonight, yo.
or have his wife introduce him. Like Samantha is more over than Ricochet for real.
Yeah. She's way more over. Bro, how many times did I say that? How many times did I say this when we first started commission talks? When someone talked about they can't work, they can't do this. I said I don't look at their in-ring ability. I look at what they can do as a character and what can they do with these things. Honestly, guys, I would say R-Truth is a little bit better of a worker at sometimes because guess what? He gives you a fucking experience. When R-Truth comes in, you're either going to laugh or you're going to go, oh my God, I never could have thought of what he would just done. Absolutely. He benefited a fucking title that was a handout just to be a joke. And that's something. Yep. And when I said this on Commission Talks, and Dre, you could quote me on this. I said that 24/7 title, as bad as that is, it's going to be the one of the most talked about things by that year because
he made it there.
R-Truth, Drake, all those guys sat there and was like, oh, if I got to get TV time, I'm going to make that title. Right. So what they do, they traveled it on the actual TV. They did it on the news station for a little bit.
7-Eleven, 962.
They done it at 7-Eleven. It's like you got endorsements on these things because you made it a standpoint factor. That is something like I tell people, if you got something, fucking take it and run with that as much as you can. I'm
Absolutely.
a U.S. character. Yes, I could be that original generic character, but that gummit, I'm gonna be one of the most talked about at the end of that fucking show. That's the main thing I tell people all the time. If you can have someone that has a character that tells a story and makes you have an emotional feel to it, you have done your job. That's what makes the difference.
Look at Tozawa on this week's episode of Raw, man. In
Oh
the
my
background with
goodness. That's what
How
we're talking
how
about.
more entertaining is he now compared to what he is in the ring?
Like, come on, bro. He
Put him
didn't
with the
even
faction.
he ain't say much, and all he just doing is just like, come on, dog. Like,
Put him with the faction.
Come
I want to
on.
see it every week now.
And this is the same guy that was getting slammed by women.
even the stuff he been doing.
Hold up. Who are you talking about?
Yeah,
Tozawa.
even the stuff over the last, over the last couple of weeks though, he haven't been doing much. But soon someone come into the ring, he turned right back around. Like, it's just
character.
it's the littlest stuff, man.
Bro, that
Yeah.
used to be wrestling.
That's what
That
makes the
used to be
attraction look
wrestling,
more.
bro. That used to be what
Bro.
wrestling was. Yo, Dwight the
Attitude
Clown,
era.
Razor
That's all it
Ramon.
was.
That
That's
used
all
to be
it was.
wrestling.
Here's
I'm
what-
telling you right now.
Hang on. One of the
In the
things
attitude
that I
era,
think
what
is
matches are
so-
more memorable just based off of matches?
Shit, there was so many. Giant Gonzalez and Undertaker. That wasn't barely a fucking match, but it was one of the most looked at shit that you want. The
Hang on.
casket match,
You know why we
Yokozuna.
look at that to this day?
So much.
Hang on. You want to know why it's still talked about to this day? And Taker said it best. It was the fucking shits.
Yeah, it was great.
Said it best. It was a great thing because it helped, with the streak. But I think one of the things that most casual fans don't see, and we've been talking about a lot of it, is the way some casual fans might construe it. Best example is the streak. I had friends of mine sitting with me the night that streak got ended by Brock.
Some bullshit.
We all know what that sounded
It was
like
a shock,
in the
bro.
arena.
It was a shock.
That was what it sounded like.
It was a shocker for the wrong reason.
So
It was.
Brock should have
It
never
was.
fucking ended that streak. He had no reason to. Nothing was gained from
No
anybody from that
reason.
shit.
But it was
nobody
believable.
understood.
It's believable, but that's not
Yeah,
enough of a reason
regardless-
to end a fucking
No,
20-year
yeah,
streak.
Yeah, regardless
Like,
of if it
come on.
was believable.
Honestly, I believe
Brock
Undertaker
Lesnar
should never
wasn't-
lost it.
Brock Lesnar-
The only
I
person
don't
that
think
should
so
have
either.
beaten him,
Now,
as much as I hate him, it's probably CM Punk. Because that year when he had
Yeah,
with
Punk,
Punk,
Yeah.
that
his
year
mouth
he
up.
did the year that he did the Paul Bearer into the story right after
Yes,
Paul
and
Bearer
I was
passed,
wa-
and
and
it
I
worked.
was I remember I
worked.
was there and he did that. I remember one episode I was there going into wrestling.
He had that dust.
I
You really
think-
thought that was him?
It should have been
yeah,
CM Punk or
Yeah.
Bray Wyatt should have been the one.
Bray
who-
Wyatt, I agree.
Bray Wyatt
Ray,
should
that-
have
that's
been
what
the
it should have
one.
been.
Orton.
Why
I
ended
think
that?
Orton should have been one. I think Orton
No.
should have been it.
No,
Orton. I would at least liked
Bro.
Orton better than I like Brock.
WrestleMania 21 was one of my
Legend
favorite
killer. Legend killer
Undertaker
Orton.
matches. Yes.
one. Here's something that a lot.
Hold
of
on.
wedding
We gotta go to
fans-
the next topic. We
Yeah,
gotta
Okay,
go.
yeah.
good topic, though. Good topic.
Yeah,
The biggest misconception
though,
of
but yeah.
wrestling.
Next topic, guys.
That it's fake.
What's the biggest misconception of wrestling?
That was my shit right there, man. I saw that Ric Flair interview. I was like,
Yeah.
Rick he's doing big things, man.
Wait,
Yeah, I want to
I'll
ask
go
y'all a
this-
question, but I don't want to fuck up the flow or the show and shit.
I'll just say these words. It's still real to me. Damn it.
I've
That
had
is-
numerous injuries from this so-called fake sport, but I'm gonna let Dre speak on it because this was Dre's topic. So, floor is yours, my
Hey,
bro.
Man, when I saw the clip of it, I was like, I gotta go check this out, and I checked it out before. I was it yesterday before Monday Night Raw, and I thought it was a great question to ask Ric Flair. Though, one of the misconceptions of wrestling, and obviously, it's fake. Anytime I got wrestling on and someone over, they'd be like, oh man, you watch wrestling, it's fake. Yeah, like. Just about everything on TV, just about fake, and people don't people don't understand, obviously the hard work and all the dedication that you know, and me personally, this was always me personally. You know, I thought wrestlers should get paid more than football players or more than basketball players. Yeah, I know they go out there and taking hits and all that, but you know, yeah, people say it's a fake sport, and for what they get paid is be like, well, damn though. But you know, I look at wrestling, man, as you know, just like man, it's a soap opera, man, and
Yeah.
just about every wrestling show I've been to, it was about an older person with me. It was an old lady, older man, more so it was older women, and they always express why they love wrestling because it just reminds them of soap operas. It's a story, man. You know, you when they end the show, you want to know what's going to happen next week. You know, so me personally, the biggest misconception of it is obviously, is it fake? And you know, yeah, fake basically. You know,
I
that's
feel
my
you, bro.
misconception.
I don't know if
Yeah.
it's fake.
When I saw that, I
Yeah,
think fake is definitely the wrong word to
Bro.
use.
yeah, definitely,
People
yeah.
say it. It's not about it being fake. It's about, I think Ric Flair. I saw this interview too, and this was fucking, you know, just perfect, man. That's one of the things I really like. I actually want to do a whole show about how it is now to be able to experience the real real life like industry, because we can do it now with podcasts
It
and
also
interviews and
kills
stuff.
it too, though.
There's no
It kills
kayfabe.
our exposure.
You're right. That's why I would love to. I would shit commission talks. Y'all are more than well. I would love to do a show with you guys and talk about this shit honestly. But when Ric Flair was on the thing and he was literally saying things that, you know, people saying for years, oh, it's fake, is it? Just like you said, when you ever talk, anybody you say that's fake, why do you watch it? What are they comparing it to? They're comparing it to UFC. They're comparing it to football. Or why do you watch this? It's nobody's gonna win. They know who's gonna win. Yeah, but that doesn't change the outcome. Just like you just said, Dre. You watch a fucking movie, you know that Will Smith really is gonna die and shit, but you know he might die in a movie. It's a story, and that's what we're watching it for. But you're demeaning these fucking athletes and these professionals and these superstars who are going in the ring 7 times a week, whatever, how many fucking times a week they're doing it at this point, and putting their bodies on the line, bro. Like literally, you know, putting their bodies on the line for something that's not even like something that they can definitely know that, oh yeah, well, if I fight as hard as I possibly can, I'm still gonna be the champion for fucking 7-8 years at that. Because I'm fighting with all my might, fighting with all my life. No, they're putting their life on the line, knowing they're gonna lose that match at the end of the night, you know, at the end of the day and shit like that or whatever. So it's even crazier. Like,
I want to say one last thing. I became more of a fan when I found out that it wasn't, you know, actually what it was. You know, I was
actually
like,
fighting. Yeah.
Yeah. When I found out that it was a story and it was scripted, I said, "Oh, so motherfucker, sit back and put this shit together." Like, man, this got to be one of the greatest things ever.
Yeah.
Like, man, I was done with it after that. And then when I was little, I saw Training Day, and Denzel got shot up, and I was like, "Oh shit, Denzel dead, man! Like, he dead." When I found out that it was just like a movie and shit, I was like, "Oh shit!" Like, you know, like. That's the little, you know, like, man, when Kane put Triple H on fire, no, not Triple H, JR, when Kane put JR on fire, was one of the most intense shit I ever saw as a kid, man.
Bro,
and I was just crazy, like, yo, this shit is wild.
Bro, so I love how you talked about that story. I will say, you know, me getting into this business and, you know, learning so many things about what transpire with wrestling, like, you know, like you just said with that one, bro, I didn't know you spray Axe on yourself and you set yourself on fire. It's protected for a certain amount of time. Alcohol, certain things, like you learn these things. That's why I tell people, if you want to get into this stuff, go to a wrestling school, stuff like that. These are the things that you learn proper wise and stuff like that. I remember, and I just was on a podcast recently where I talked about my first experience getting into wrestling and realizing how real it was when I took my first bump. And it wasn't a trampoline. It wasn't with springs or anything like that. This was literally plywood. And the only thing I got to say would the bad thing about everything being exposed now is people are probably looking at you going, why would you do this for $40? Why would you do this for that type of pay? And you don't even have your covered medical and stuff like that. And, you know, those are some of the things I wish didn't get exposed at times. I'm very lucky what I get out of it now. But, you know, I went through my growing pains. I remember I came to a show and I only made $15. and it was probably one of my favorite shows I've ever done. And, you know, but it's not based off of the paying experience anymore. It's about, you know, that feeling. And I feel like that's the reason why so many people come back, so many people do their thing. And I can't say so many people anymore because I'm one of them. I said I was done. I've been on your show, and I've told you before, I was done. I was not coming back. And I got that bug, and now I'm back in it. I mean, it's just like a feeling you never had before. Like, I've done basketball, I've done football, I've done these things. I don't get such a grasping emotional feeling than what I do in a wrestling ring. Like, if my life is absolutely at its worst, I can get in that wrestling ring and it can all be washed away. It doesn't matter if I win the match or I lost, because in the end of the day, we both won. Because guess what? And I want to talk about the guy that I had on my show recently. Shout out to Eddie Torres. He talked about if you go to put over somebody and you do your absolute best work to make that guy look amazing, you find out how of a skill of a worker you are, because guess what? He can go and wrestle somebody else and not get the same reaction that he has. He's going to now come back to you and go, oh, man, I wrestled all these guys a year ago, and I didn't get no feeling like I had when I touched with you last time. And that just does a benefit fact, because guess what? Now that not only ups your pay, your base or whatever, that's also getting you more of a network now, because you have this big name going, hey, man, you gotta talk to this guy. This guy made me look like an absolute monster on this show and stuff like that. And that's something I wish people would take a little bit of a consideration with wrestling. Is wrestling is not necessarily about all the antics of, you know, backstage drama, like, oh, you know, I want to hit with a chair, I want to hit with a thumbtack, I want to do those things. You're not going to see me do those matches. I won't. I'll be personally honest with you on that. I'm not doing any of that. But for people to take that,
so we're not going to see you in any ECW matches. Damn it!
Absolutely not, bro. No.
But Warren, don't you feel like you being a wrestler, you definitely just said like a lot of truthful shit, and with Ric Flair coming out and like pretty much like opening eyes, you know, to people who watch it, you know what I'm saying?
Cut your head and stuff like
exactly.
that. Bro. People don't take that knowledge and realize of what you have to do and what we do to oversell to make you have that feeling, to escape whatever you're going through that day. Like Ric Flair just said it. We used to get brass knucks. We used to get hit with these things, you know. Hey, I had a blade in my finger because I misbladed myself before. Like, this stuff happens, and we just do it for y'all's entertainment. We don't do it for like all that other stuff.
I wanted to ask you why you were saying it, because it is a big conception. Like, you know, you gave a lot of good reasons for why you like to do it.
I could lift your big ass and slam you with no hesitation. Stop with me.
Okay. All right. But I'm saying, like, literally, when the fact that you can get exposure off of this now, like, you know, and networking from doing, like, you know, just like with podcasting and stuff like that, or doing your show or whatever, like, you literally, the more people you meet, the more people you wrestle. You might have got $15 for that one show, but if you put on an incredible performance, the exposure that you got is something that in the future it's why you may get, you know, $50 instead of $15 next time. But do you find it difficult, since you find yourself not doing some of the things that people really want to do, like, you know, like seeing thumbtack matches and seeing it? Do you find it difficult knowing you're not going to do that? Do you find yourself having to find other ways to be like inventive or creative?
That's a good question.
I mean, I love that. That's a good question. I actually,
my shit right here.
I think that, I mean, here's a great example. Like, you know, people that don't like to smoke.
Going, Warren.
All right, you see my video. Enough said. I could squat 500 pounds. So next. All right. But you see, like, here's a great example. You know, like when you talk about people smoking, nobody like to smoke and stuff like that. But when vape coming around, it tastes. You see everybody doing it. You see everyone like that but so you're sitting there like, maybe I should try it. Maybe I should consider it and stuff like that. Now, there has been times where I look at it and go, hey, maybe I could do that match. Maybe if I change this persona, whatever, but not do it so much longer. But I don't see it that way. And I think that was my main downfall when I first started, was I was up to do anything. I never knew what the no was. I never knew how to say, okay, you know, I'm not comfortable with this, because I felt like I was so new in it. I just had to go with the flow and do everything with it. But now I've gotten to that point where I know where I've been, what bumps I can take, what I can do to make that emotion out of the crowd, what my matches can do to stand out. Is my match going to be that one that I can be, I can go the long distance, or I can do what we call the meat and potatoes and still it be a good match. Those are the things like you look at those parts in the plays. So when you say, okay, I want to do this hardcore match, I look at it and go, okay, but how many hardcore matches we had on the show? So it's like, you don't know that level standpoint on. But I love that question, what you said, because I've had a talk with some of the trainees I've had recently because they were sitting there talking about, GCW is so popular. Do I have to do that to get on their show? And I said, if you feel like you do, that's up to you. But in my opinion, what can you do to get yourself to be entertained with that crowd that does that stuff, but not do those same things? That will make you more compelling than what those characters are doing.
If you're compelling, though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because what they're doing is definitely compelling, but you have to find a way to be compelling since you're not going to dip into that pool. So that's why it's interesting. And that even with wrestling, people who don't know wrestling, when a guy like Ric Flair comes on, Ric Flair, whether it be from, just entertainment, whatever, Ric Flair. So when somebody like Ric Flair comes on and says, yo, this shit isn't fake. Y'all think this shit is fake? I'm fucking 93 years old. I've been put through this. I'm Blade. I'm cutting myself. And people are like, cutting yourself? Holy shit. Now it's reality. Now people are starting to change perspectives. So now it's like, holy shit, like I didn't realize this was this much. Let me check it out. You just opened up a whole new door to people who are at least intrigued by the shit now. So that's why I'm asking you. You're the only wrestler on here that's actually doing it as a profession. Like, you're in a whole new field, man, whether it be death matches, whether it be fucking like, just being a character like we're talking about.
It's so different now. That's something I've learned in that.
It's got to be hard to like, to adapt to like these different levels and calibers to stand out. Like, do you want to see yourself in WWE someday? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do you want to have
Warren? I would love it, man. But I see myself and this is something that I've always
became a Warren interview. I'm sorry.
No. I love this concept. Because this is perfect topic to talk about this. My thing is about when I first started, of course, if you did not want to get in WWE, if you did not want to get in a major promotion to get that paychecks or whatever, you're doing the wrong thing because this sport is not going to cover your finances when you first start. I don't care who you are. You could be a third generation superstar. Guess what? You're going to go through the ringer just like us for even if it's 2 months. You're going to go through exactly what we're going to go through. Now, I'm got the realization, yes, I'm only 32 years old. And these are technically the wrestling years that everybody likes to say, but I just know for a fact my character is just not going to be promoted in WWE and stuff like that. The mask character, it can only work so much. So, would I love it? Yes, but
don't quit.
I find more appreciated. I find myself more happy, and it's kind of like in a father figure standpoint of the people that I've helped get up to those next levels. Like some of the guys that I've worked that are up to that next level. I think more intrigued with that than me worried about myself. If that makes sense.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Okay.
No, Warren, the question that I want to ask is, and I've heard it from casual fans, the big misconception of, is it easy to create a character or evolve it on your own, or do you, things of that nature? Because you hear it all the time. Oh, I could do that. I can create this, no problem. Would you say that
depends on the person too, though? Because if you got a really creative person, like I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I'll be honest with you, I can make a fucking character in 5 minutes. I just find it easy. Now to get in the ring and wrestle, that would take a lot of work. So on that, if I was a team with Warren and I was like, okay, I'm going to go and say, Warren, check this out. I got this idea for you. And Warren's like, yo, listen, keep feeding me shit. He don't even got to do it. All he's got to worry about is his part. Isn't that the whole reason why you would have like a management team and a creative team, and then that's how you build your brand? Yep. So that's basically like, he's a business. Like if you choose to do it on your own, you're saving money. But do you, like he said, do you find it hard to come up with creative and stuff like that?
I did at first. I felt like I had to, just go with the flow, but I got tired of taking those crazy bumps. I got tired of doing all those things. So obviously I did have to adapt to things. Like I was soaking wet, maybe 155 for a little bit. And then I was just like, I got to gain weight. I got to push myself to do these things. and I wanted myself to be considered more than just a cruiserweight. Finally got myself up. That was one reason why I'm happy where I'm at now, because I'm not considered that cruiserweight, but I'm like in that middleweight type scenario, so I can go in both categories now. And just the matches that I have, I'm not considered, oh, I got to literally struggle to throw this big man over. They respectfully go, hey, man, it's a believable thing. You're not just this small guy. This works now. I would say to make the character, it's not that hard. To make the character that the crowd can go behind is what's hard. I think that is where a lot of people fail at, because anybody can go on WWE on this game and make a awesome character, make an awesome character. But if you don't believe in that character, and that's something that I tell people all the time, you don't have to be you in this character, but you got to believe it. If you believe that character, I know at least one or two of these kids or somebody's going to look at it and go, I'm going to give this a try. I'm going to look at this and consider it. Like my character standpoint is, when I wrestle, you watch my matches, I take a beating because I'm benefiting off of the bad guy off that show. Because guess what? Sometimes I can be established, but you got to get that bad guy established at the same time, because it's a back and forth thing. So if I'm doing the stuff to make my heel, the bad guy established, it's so much easier for the fans to go. So where you get that big comeback that me and Brian have talked about so many times on this show is where that impact just gets to more of it's like a meter, and that meter will rise because now it's that time to like, all right, the fans are ready. Let's get my spot in. Boom. That one spot is the most memorable spot of the match, because that's where that crowd went from, boo, blah, type scenario. Like it's just that flow of the crowd. Like it's easy to make the character, but you got to make the audience believe that character. That's the hardest thing. And I feel like with wrestling now, people are not really focusing on the characters. And I feel like that's what's been the really big downfall for a lot of independent guys and a lot of other showman guys.
I don't agree with that, man. I think that the character is always a focus. I think that wrestlers are just not focusing on their characters enough.
Yes.
And that's why, because I think the audience is willing to watch anything you put in front of them. They're going to judge it regardless. But the people who are doing, even Kurt Angle said on his, awards acceptance when he got in Hall of Fame, yo, don't be scared to take risks. But at the same time, and I'm just being honest, everybody doesn't have that ability to be creative in that way. And I'm not, everybody doesn't have charisma. Everybody doesn't have this stuff. There can't be 1,000 Shawn Michaels. Can't be 1,000 Bret Harts. You have different elements that make you and shit.
What I'm saying is the misconception from that casual fan sitting at home is simply saying, oh, I can do that, or this really doesn't.
Take 2 bumps. And that's something I tell people on TikTok all the time, guys. Brian, I think you could probably take 1 or 2 bumps. I think you would literally.
I would fight.
I could tell you would want to. If you were like a little bit, I know.
I would wrestle. That's what's crazy. I would go and step in the UFC ring. I would go and step up with an MMA. I was training for it for a minute, but I would do that before I'd get in a wrestling ring. Believe it or not.
And that's what a lot of MMA guys would say too, because they would like, oh, that's easy. And then when they take that first bump, they're like, absolutely not. This is ridiculous. You are insane to be doing this.
Wrestling's fucking hard.
I know Dre would definitely have done it if he could. I know he would for a fact.
Dre will do that shit now.
Hey, shit. I remember a couple of times, man, trying to wrestle my little brother or cousin when I was little, man. Then cane and choke slamming people and stuff.
I used to wrestle people on the trampoline. We'd have like a big old events and stuff. Like the whole neighborhood would come out and watch us wrestle on these trampolines. Like we had the paper titles and stuff like that. It's so cool. It's so cool. And like I even had a couple of them message me like, hey man, it's so crazy you actually became that, because we used to do that for $5 in the neighborhood, and I'd make over $30 a week doing that, just freaking having a wrestling show on a trampoline. Like it's so cool where you get that demographic. So I love the way that Ric Flair acknowledged this, because it is very misconcepted, because we look at it as, it's a soap opera, it's fake and stuff like that, but in reality, and I think Blackheart stuck it a little bit, sometimes you would think the NFL is kind of predetermined. You would see like some of these things, and it's like,
There's some hidden
That
shit in
looked
it.
pretty
All sports, there's some hidden shit. I don't care what nobody says. Everybody's not wrong. There's some undercard shit. Anything that involves money, man. Anything that involves money.
Get in the ring with me. Get in the ring with me. I love you. I love you. Get in the ring with me.
I don't think Blackheart would have let half that conversation go down if he was on this show right now. He would have cut that shit. Fuck all this Warren shit.
No, he does this all the time. Like literally, that's how me and him like started talking.
With a T-shirt that says,
Oh,
yeah, damn.
All right, man. That was fun.
That was good.
But
talk.
yeah, that was a good one, Dre.
yes.
You got anything you want to follow on that one, bro?
Hey man, nah, man. I said it all. I definitely said it all, man. Definitely a bunch of misconceptions. Is people just thinking, "Oh, I can do that."
We got him agree now. We got him to agree.
Yeah. All sports are scripted.
I don't know about all sports, but I would say there's
He's
some
saying that now
scripted
because the
in-
Celtics ain't winning, but I think they might win this year. I think they might.
You know what was interesting to me though? One thing that even me as a watching wrestling for as long as I have, I did think that they did have some I did think that they had like the tables and the chairs that they're using. I did think that those are modified. I think he's capping a little bit on that. I ain't gonna lie.
I
Of course, it's just a
Yeah.
I got excited. My
They
first
make
table
no
was
real
broke.
metal
We
chairs.
bounced off of it. We bounced off this table because literally we thought they brought this wood one, and I guess the promoter didn't go and get the wooded table that we had at the time. So we had this plastic table, but it looked like the wooden table that we were supposed to go through. So we went and took this thing, and we bounced off of it. I was just like, "Yep, this is real. This is real now."
Bro.
Yeah, I think Ric Flair was definitely, obviously he's a legend in the business. I think he was keeping a little bit, to himself.
A little bit, right? Yeah.
Some basketball players and football players, they know the business, but obviously they ain't going to, spill it all out there.
If you look at some of the sports games, I mean, I don't want to fully say it, but me going to Vegas, I saw a whole different outlook with sports and things. But I mean, I agree with Dre totally. I have friends that play football and stuff, and yes, they go through a lot too. But with wrestling, you're basically starting out like at a janitor level, and it's up to you to get that stride to keep rolling.
I agree with Blackheart, and I agree with
Yeah.
Brian Beer just a little bit. I don't think all of them are, but I think just about all of them are. They all a business, entertainment.
Anything but college, I think.
Yeah, I seen some interviews, man. Where it's just where you get down where I think with basketball players, they're like, "Dog, this is not what you think it is, man. Like this the finals here. We gotta beat you guys." And it was like, "Oh, for real? Like, yeah, this is money. They gonna lose, they gonna still make money regardless, though." But I think
you think in 5 years we're gonna get a behind the scenes about the NBA talking about maybe scripts?
Probably.
No, I don't think so. I don't think so because it's big business. I mean, wrestling is already out there that is what it is, though. But I think the people who control that or whatever will try to keep it as much of a secret as they can.
Mm-hmm.
But
Look at the Olympics, bro. Look at the Olympics.
individuals, know what it is.
Just saying.
First, I will say
always
shout out to
shit,
flag
bro.
football and as a whole now being in the LA Olympics in 2028. So major shout out to them. That is the first time a sport has been organically put into the Olympics that is going to be drawn by the NFL. They're going to publicly
more
draw it.
motherfuckers not getting paid for our entertainment, like literally. I mean, it's, I guess it's exposure, but I'm just saying, I don't know, bro. I'm one of those type of people where if we talking conspiracies and shit like that, like I'm never like all the way left or all the way right. I'm telling you right now, I'm never one of them people. I can see how shit can be fucked up because you always learn so much new shit. I'll never be shocked. Like if they came out and said, "Oh yeah,
wrestling's more believable than most things in life." At times, I sometimes say that. But all right, man.
Keyword: presentation of the National Football League. Keyword: presentation.
All right, man. Next topic. Oh, Eric would love this one. He's our buddy right here for this one. Next topic is: does AEW Rampage need a revival?
Cancel that
Both
shit.
of them.
Eric, I wish I could screen. I wish I could go back. Hold on. I wish we could go back here and get those recordings when you talked everything about Rampage when you first started out, and now to where we could get you to talk about it now. I wish we could do the before and after, because your whole emotion aspect would have been so different.
Yep, Ira.
He's a little flabbergasted on it.
Let me testify now. Right? Let me come to the front of everybody. Rampage. Good idea in the beginning. Not gonna lie.
Oh, cool dog. No, I'm sorry to interrupt.
Blackheart, I'm gonna get to that. Here's part of the issue that I
Is
think.
that why we feel about
It's
Rampage?
still
We talk about
lost.
the dog.
All right. Taped versus live. That's a big issue.
Yep.
Mhm.
And
Yep.
for this,
Mhm.
maybe a little bit, it was live.
Nah.
But now, really have
David
to go through a whole oh, cut it out.
He told me to mute your mic.
I'm going to say what it is.
Smith.
Collision, dump Rampage. You're not cutting it anymore.
Oh,
Can't save
oh,
that.
hold on. And for that, I'm going to do that for you, buddy.
Blackheart has
Come
said-
to the aisle right here.
Cancel all that shit. That's
Cancel
what I say.
Rampage.
Watch it.
Because the ratings for Rampage were, at the beginning. We kind of know why. Fuck you, Phil. I'll say that till Judgment Day. And then this is what happened.
Oh, I wish I could get the old recordings.
Bro, be honest, yo. The reason why
Boy.
Rampage is not doing good is because SmackDown is before it. Nobody's watching fucking 5 hours of wrestling.
Not even
And
that. Tony
Watch wrestling
really
Friday, and it's
believed
Friday
everything.
night. And it's
The
Friday night.
number.
And the
No,
results
Brad
are
B-
always
Brad-
done ahead of time.
No,
Yeah,
Brad
I
B,
agree.
Brad B make a good point though, and just like Eric just said, I think the number one reason is because it is taped immediately after Dynamite, so people there have saw it,
He
and it
used
have
to do
got it
better
already.
numbers than this.
Good point,
and,
too.
and it's already over social media and everything. So, and just like Brian B said, and I said it too before,
Agreed.
I watched 2 hours of SmackDown,
Agreed.
and
Late
my
Friday night.
appetite is totally full. And
Yeah.
then you talking about watching Rampage right after that, though. Like,
And it's the C show. It's the C show. It's the F show, honestly, because it's not even like one of the
It's
top
not even an
shows.
alphabet letter. It may be a Z,
Yeah.
man.
and I thought
Yeah.
when Collision was coming
Hold
aboard,
up,
I thought
Blackheart,
Rampage-
just said it in the chat.
when
Pull that up,
Collision
pull
was
that up.
when
That's the
Collision was
perfect analogy.
when Collision was coming on board, I thought Rampage was already supposed to get a little revival, and it's supposed to be like a Sunday Night Heat-ish,
I don't-
but it just
look-
seemed like it just never happened.
Saturday
Looking
wrestling.
back at what
Not
I said in the
1993.
beginning, thinking about it, now that I have a better idea at this point in time, Collision has done a better job. You're on Saturday night, which is fine. I think what you need to do, if
Agreed,
you
Blackheart.
were to reboot, full overhaul. Bischoff almost, and I'm only referencing this, just hear me out. Don't make fun. Don't laugh. Just hear me out. I think you take Rampage and cut it 6 months. See what happens when you just have the 2 shows again. And then evaluate, do I bother bringing back Rampage? Because at that point, you're going to
Yes.
know.
And Edge, I
gonna
think.
have that point.
I think Collision should just not be on Saturdays. I'm sorry. They need to move Collision from off of Saturdays because then it also it
Hang
it-
on,
it
Blackheart.
also-
Rebirth of WCW.
Hang
it-
on.
it
hang on.
also-
Maybe
better
they'll
off
follow
doing that.
WCW.
They'd be better off doing that. I'll be honest with you. If they just
Hang
would
on,
just admit
Blackheart.
it,
I'm going to answer that question.
just make it
What I
WCW and
meant
say
by
fuck
that
it.
is this. Towards the end of the Monday Night War, Bischoff was trying to buy WCW. Y'all remember that? He once said, and he recently said this again as it pertained to some of the things AEW related. He was going to, if he would have gotten WCW, he was going to take it off the air. After that show in Panama City, you would not have seen WCW for probably a year. He was going to do a whole revamp.
Sunday.
Would I
That'd be nice.
I mean,
That'd
if
be
they do a
nice.
set
wouldn't
schedule, yeah.
until the pay-per-view comes on. I mean,
No,
they're
but
Saturdays now.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, the pay-per-views are on Saturdays. The only thing they will have a problem with on the Sundays is, WrestleMania, I'm assuming, or
Yeah.
or
something else
football
that
for
comes
that
on.
matter.
And
You know,
Yeah,
football.
they would have
Yeah.
like football games.
Yeah, but football games ends at 7:50.
They were
Well, on the
saying-
East Coast here,
Well,
they-
Blackheart,
they
hang on.
end
Let
at
me answer
7:15.
Blackheart's question. The rest of Blackheart's question. What I'm saying is, if you were to try to revive Rampage,
Yes.
use the idea, take the whole show, cut it off the air. See what the numbers for Collision are if you hypothetically moved it, as he said, to go head to head with SmackDown. See what happens.
You got to have product to do
Then
that, though.
get-
Yeah.
Let's be honest, bro. This whole conversation is missing the whole point. The shit ain't interesting enough to go up against
It's
anything
not.
else.
It's not making you
Be
want to
real.
go back and watch it on YouTube. It's not.
If
making
you
want
had-
to go back and
You
watch it
need
on DVR.
something to
We're talking
bring out
Rampage,
that
right?
product, bro. Listen, WCW, and you got to face
Well-
facts. Like that's the fucking what we're looking at right now. WWF, WCW. If you want to have
Yeah,
any
bro.
kind of competition,
MLW is
realistic
drawing way
competition,
more ratings than most of that stuff right now.
you have
Like,
to have
Oh,
people.
understatement.
When Hulk Hogan went to fucking WCW and he was getting booed and people didn't give a shit about yellow and red no more, and then he flipped and Hall and Nash came and they turned NWO. That is what
made it.
turned
Yep.
wrestling on. It fucking beat WWF. WWF couldn't even shit with WCW, bro. That's
Here's the
the
question.
only thing that had something to do because you took that heavy investment and you created
Agreed.
something incredible. AEW is not going to be any kind of a talking point until they do that. It's just pure facts. You can bring
I
Edge,
say
you can
bring
bring
the
fucking
future guys
Rocky,
benefit the show.
bro. You
That's what
have
you need
to
to
have
do.
something to watch, man. It's not
But
good
do
enough
you
to watch
really
yet.
take Rampage to YouTube at this point? Do you think there's even a
That-
remote way
Why
to
would
save it?
who's gonna if you're not watching it on regular TV?
Here's
Who's gonna
my
fucking
thing.
take time to go watch it on YouTube?
Here's my
Like
thing.
you're gonna forget
Exactly.
about it at that point.
If
Like,
they
you might as well
have
not
the
even have it.
network, if they have
Saves
the
money.
network, keep Rampage. Put it on the network. Do whatever you want to do with that. But if it's
They got
not
a network.
drawing on TV, bro, TNT's not going to keep paying for that.
He should
TBS
sell, they should
is
sell
not
that
gonna
shit
keep
to
paying for that.
WWE and just call it a day because
They're going to look at it and go, hey, give me that
Oh,
Looney Tune. Give me Space Jam. I'll take that. That drew a little bit better than this crap. Like, this is ridiculous.
Hang on. I'll say this. Looking back at what I said when I first made the comments about it,
It does save
and
money.
here, where we are now. To me, Rampage
yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
is now what we call the
Yep.
what's the name?
You're not even having people bootleg to watch Rampage right now. So, honestly, I
Oh,
say
it's so
pull it.
bad.
Just
I
pull it.
mean, and we
I would pull that
that's the
shit.
thing. That's what Bischoff was saying that I'm trying to mention. Pull it off the air completely. Don't redo it, nothing. Because at this point, I'll say it for what it is. I can get the results practically the next day. If I'm at the
Yeah, but that's-
arena, I already fucking know what's going to happen. So I'm not going to bother with that.
Let's make it a dark show.
Time, half the time, I'll put it to you like this. It's a Friday night. I can go out and go get laid instead of watching that.
That's what I said fucking 10 minutes ago, literally.
I'm reiterating it because I'm sitting
Yeah, I
on
mean,
your
it's literally
side.
like the whole point.
I
Like,
would rather go do that shit and sit there. And if God forbid I have, you're working or something, you can record SmackDown and watch it. That's more entertaining.
fuck
I'd rather do
AEW
that.
and Rampage and Collision. They should all just blow each other up. Collide on that shit, okay? And use dynamite and all that shit. Fucking WCW light. And ain't nobody watching that shit, okay? It's for all the fucking niggas who ain't making it in WWE who was crying, oh, they're using me. Well, they're using you now. And motherfuckers jumped over there and they found out, well, it's not
Love
that
it.
good. Edge is
love
over there. No, listen, Edge is over there. You're going to
Here
rant
we
now.
go.
Fuck this shit.
I love
Edge
it.
is over there fucking talking to empty seats. Edge is standing in that ring. Edge is in that ring like this, y'all. What the fuck did I do? There ain't nobody in this shit.
Yo,
Edge is like, Triple H, I want to come back. Fuck this shit. There is nobody here, Triple H.
Here's the question I got.
motherfuckers tried hard, and even the motherfucker who started it left. Cody Rhodes is like, man, fuck this shit. Ain't nothing over here.
You got Blackheart dying.
Fuck out of here, man.
Oh man.
AEW sucks. Okay, I said it. Daniel Bryan leaving. Fucking what? Get the fuck out of here.
Hang on.
Dog, that's what makes this. This what makes this so awesome, bro. This what makes this so awesome because we as WWE
this is
guys,
about to be real, Brian. This is about to be a real.
You got the WWE guys who love WWE, and then you got some guys who love AEW, but then you got Brian B who tell it like it is, bro. Like,
I'll put it to you like this.
It should be on Monday. It should be on Wednesday.
No, the funny thing is, I've been saying this
every day.
Oh man,
I'm saying
something I've been saying. Great example. Hold on. Great example. Josh Prey, comedian. He knows about Jade Cargill based off of her signing with WWE. And he just made a full-on video go, this woman is a Greek goddess. I don't care who this woman is. WWE just signed her. Nobody knew of this person. Flat out.
Jade Cargill does not need AEW didn't make Jade Cargill.
AEW needed her.
Jade Cargill could walk in off the street and motherfuckers look at her and say, I want her. I want her. Look at her. Look at her body. Look at her fucking beauty. I want her. Jade Cargill she wasted her time in AEW. If anything, if Jade Cargill walked in and she was in the NXT, she was in the center or whatever, but I don't know why they didn't utilize her or why she didn't get utilized or want to get utilized. But she's her own brand, bro. She doesn't need it. AEW didn't give, she didn't leave the door finally open and she was like, yo, listen, this is my time now. Like, I'm ready. Whether she went there to train or whatever, like she knew what a business was, bro. AEW ain't the fucking business, man. Like, I'm just saying, I'm not even hating. I'm just being dead ass honest, man. Like, AEW ain't the best. Why we having these conversations? What show should it be on? What show? Like, y'all got 3 shows and no motherfuckers, you can't even fill seats for one. Like, bro.
I don't know what the hell's going on with that recently.
They suck.
No, Eric. No, Brian. I gotta say this, Eric. I love you, but you know damn well 3 or 4 months ago, you would have sat there and fought that tooth and nail when we said that they couldn't draw a damn.
No,
seat.
because here's the problem. I started noticing it with the shit with Punk.
I told you for the longest time when Tony Khan started playing on Twitter, that was going to be the demise of this company because Tony Khan got personal and got upset about NXT brought this. Why did you think that you thought this was going to go well? Why did you think? The only reason
I don't know that?
In believability, the only reason why anybody watched AEW that day was to watch Edge's match.
Edge is the only reason motherfuckers watch AEW. That's the only reason I'm even saying AEW right now. But now that he's there,
I'm watching MJF. I'm only watching MJF.
CM Punk was the only reason I was interested in AEW when he came back. The only reason I was interested. Daniel Bryan going over there for a second was like the only reason I was like, let me peek over here and see. JR being an announcer.
That's it. Good matches.
I can't. Everything else, I don't give a fuck about, man. And then
Brian is not even being a character.
Just
being a wrestler.
Now, Tony, to me, has crossed, and I'm not gonna sit here and say I wasn't defending it.
I will say this though. Jade did get a benefit from going to AEW because that's why WWE signed her. Because she did go to WWE before and they released her. They did not sign her when she first tried out.
Maybe she wasn't ready.
Never gave her.
She wasn't ready.
But see, this is the other side of the equation too. Where did all of a sudden this low ticket sale shit happen? What?
Bro, when you suck, man.
Believability. When you do the same matches every single show.
I want to say one thing real fast on the whole empty seat thing because I've been seeing it on social media though. And
let's go. Come on, Dre.
Let's be honest with you though. I think CM Punk was a big factor into why all these.
That was the main reason.
That was one of the big reasons. And then too, like I think for Collision,
bro.
Not a Saturday night though. Not on a Saturday night. Maybe some other night because we already got Friday night on SmackDown. You know, people work Monday through Friday. They get off on Friday. They want to go out. They want to enjoy themselves. But if SmackDown on, they probably going to be like,
You gonna
oh, you
watch
know what?
SmackDown?
I'm going to watch SmackDown.
Yeah.
Saturday, I'm free. I'm not about to go in on Saturday night just to watch Collision. Ain't even pulling over 500K. So it's like, no, I'm good. I'm going to enjoy my Saturday night out unless it's like a cool premium live event or something like that. Just to be real honest with you, though. Edge, they're making AEW can get all the former WWE superstars. They still probably won't fill that arena.
That was the main downfall too.
The thing with AEW though, and I love it. It's cool. It's all great. But I think with them is they not trying to really acknowledge themselves as sports entertainment. They just acknowledging them as pro wrestling. So
there's no such thing as pro wrestling without sports entertainment. I've been saying this since I have started a podcast. I've said this when I started wrestling.
What he did.
But that's the thing.
How many times have I said that?
You said it many times, but that's what I'm saying. I think that is also their little.
You want me to get a list?
Little downfall. They now lately I give them credit. You know, they've been doing things with the Roddy Strong and Adam Cole, Tony Storm, you know, a bunch of little different creative stuff with Powerhouse Hobbs, Crush Jericho, even though we don't know what that was about though, but there's a couple of stuff. Christian Cage is like the talked about guy over there on AEW.
He's incredible over there.
I don't think they're just putting all the puzzles together to pull and develop a great story.
People they want to draw are not the ones that are major draws. That's what the real believability is.
I think they just focus on putting on great or good wrestling matches.
Yeah, they're having a problem building certain talent.
I also think that
another one thing why Ring of Honor only did so many numbers too, because just wrestling is not the thing. Like, we got the audience that wants to see the moves and stuff like that, but you got to have a character to have a feel. Now, if you had Mark Calloway go in there and WCW say, hey, you will never draw a dime. Okay, guess what? Is this The Undertaker? At first, that sounds like the worst gimmick ever. That sounds like this is going to be a one and done. I'm getting fired literally by the next 3 months.
Yeah, they didn't believe in it at all from the beginning.
But when you sat there and revamp it and you do these things that make a crowd involved to you, look at Stone Cold Steve Austin, guys, Stunning Steve Austin, all these guys, as good as they were in the ring, they were not behind them. The Rock, when he started speaking in third person, say, hey, man, screw this audience. You said Rocky died, don't cheer me now type scenario. Fans got behind that because guess what? It was a character that you could go, all right, I want to be entertained to this. In my opinion, I love Bryan Danielson. He's a great in-ring performer, but he was way more benefited in WWE than he is now. Because he's not a character anymore. His mic work has lacked really bad like now.
Boring.
He's not making it go, hey, I want to go watch this because of what he just said on this promo. The only one that worked, I was hoping to see CM Punk. That was the only one I was hoping.
One thing about AEW, and I think they need to like focus on or like fix it a little bit. It's like they're more focused on like basically, I don't know how exactly to say it, but it's like with certain promos. No, not that, but certain promos they focus on more like cursing you out, but then telling the story. You know, rather than saying.
You had WWE references in every promo. If it doesn't,
or rather saying shit or ass or gets like 10 times, like, come on, like, you know, so that's cool.
Let me say one thing real quick. I want to say one thing on this topic.
Elements of what WCW and ECW did to get a pop.
Yeah, exactly. But listen,
you said personally that they weren't going to do that.
Listen, with what like
Warren.
Kind of piggybacking off of what Warren said, like you literally. The thing about AEW, I'm sorry to say this, yo. I'm really sorry to say this. Is one of the biggest things that AEW did was they took established people from WWE, the reason why you love these guys, and they thought it was going to work in a program where people don't know what this shit is. Like the indie scene enjoyed AEW at the beginning because of what it represented. It represented literally the people who were being called the best in the world. You had Kenny Omega, you had the Young Bucks, you had Cody Rhodes, you had Chris Jericho. Like, you know, he was doing all his New Japan stuff. Like, it was a lot that was going on. But at this point, it's not enough. It's not enough substance with AEW to build anything in this time period of wrestling that we have right now. Yeah, I feel like AEW is an alternative opportunity for people who aren't doing well in WWE. And that's what Impact was. But Impact is kind of like lower now. It's like third grade. And then AEW was like, C grade. But WWE is like fucking A++ grade, bro. And they don't have what it takes, and they don't have the needs. Whether they get even if The Rock went over there, bro. They could have The Rock over there, and people would be like, oh, that's The Rock. Why the fuck is he on this show? It wouldn't establish and make AEW great because The Rock's there. They have to establish what they are, and they've been trying to rely on their talent to establish what they are. And they're going up against something that has been established and will be established to the end of time. WWE is wrestling. That's the thing. WWE is wrestling to most motherfuckers in the world. What's wrestling? Oh, you mean WWE? To most motherfuckers in the world, WWE is wrestling. AEW, nobody's saying that.
No, I don't disagree with you. I think the thing that's happened is how do I want to put this?
Brian, you're literally saying everything I've said from day one with
that's
AEW.
Coming new. This is all that the stuff that we see now, the NWA, all that. WWE's been around for so fucking long, and I'm piggybacking off you, and I'm also concurring with you on this. What's happening now is WWE regaining its momentum that was quote unquote temporary loss because what happened when you had taken NXT, brought it on the TV to try and go head to head with AEW and recreate the same thing. Problem is, Tony hasn't adapted it. And if we were doing that, we might have a shot.
My thing is, and this is something I've been saying about AEW for a long time, anybody can get a Nobel Prize. You got to continue to make the series. It was fun. It was cool. Yeah, okay, Dave Meltzer says 5-star matches every single time, but I'm not going to believe Dave Meltzer because he hasn't ranked one of Kurt Angle's matches, which is blasphemy to me. If you really want to talk about a great in-ring performer. Now, like I said, man, anybody can wrestle matches. It's about believability and attraction standpoint. AEW was supposed to have been this group that, hey, we bring indie guys to benefit into a big promotional standpoint. Yes, they did it at first, and that's why they went successful as they did, because it was like, oh, guys like me at the time, like, oh, we can sign a contract. We get health insurance. We get this stuff. We get this. Oh, absolutely. Even if it shits the bed next month. Hey, we're getting a contract. We're going to get a piece of this pie before this ends. This is literally everything that any indie wrestler experiences still to this day. Yes, they believe and they tell you, hey, we're going to sign you. You be this draw. And then you go and see an old timer take your spot because guess what? He did such and such 7 years ago. Something like that. That is called establishment. And that's what AEW has failed at right now. They don't have established superstars that you can look at and go, oh, that is such and such from this company. That is such and such from this. When you look at the basic minimum of a WWE superstar, they look at it and go, that's that WWE moniker name. They're not looking at him and go, oh, that's Adam Copeland. Oh, that's Beth Phoenix. That's them. They're looking at it and going, Bryan Danielson. Everybody still goes, that's Daniel Bryan.
And Bryan.
Yes. Yeah. He's not supposed to be using that.
That's Cesaro, you know?
Cesaro, exactly. Yeah, you're absolutely right, bro. That's literally
it's about establishment, and that's something that TNA messed up on. That's when Hogan and them's like, oh, we're gonna go and head up with WWE. TNA was doing great stuff until that started, until they were like, oh, we're gonna compete with them. They got dropped in the water quick.
Not ready, bro. You can't compete with WWE, bro.
Then
you
could Dixie Carter.
You could, but there's nobody right now who would be able to do it, yo. I know it's getting late. I got a whole fucking show to do. Yo, listen, I want to say this right now while I'm doing this. At 9 o'clock, I'm hosting the show. I don't have like topics really. I'm literally just going to be talking about wrestling. I got a couple people on. If anybody's not doing anything later on, y'all can jump on too, man.
I'll probably hop in too.
I want to talk some shit. I got some new people that's coming in too, but I want to talk some shit tonight for sure. But it is a good topic, man. It is a good topic to acknowledge, like, you know, us as fans. You know what I'm saying? Like why can't this healthy competition that WWE has? Why are they not doing well, man? Is WWE just blowing their ass out the water, or just people just don't care? People definitely like wrestling. You know what I'm saying? People are definitely watching. Motherfuckers watching it 4 or 5 times a week at this point. Why are they not doing this well?
It's a mix of things.
Yeah, but and I tell people it's like a candy bar, man. You can only want a Snickers so much. You're gonna want a Snicker with almonds. You're gonna want a Snickers with caramel. There's gonna be a new flavor there, but it's not gonna be a consecutive thing. Like, oh, I'm just gonna constantly eat that, because you're gonna get sick of it. That's something that I feel like we get in those problems. Like, oh, we want to compete. We got an established promotion. We've been getting social media buzz. We've been doing this, and I kept telling him. I kept telling everybody on this AEW Nation standpoint, I said, it's good now. What's going to happen in 5 years? And right now, I mean, I hope it succeeds. I hope it stands together, because competition is good.
I mean, pull the reins in. They got to stop doing 5 shows, focus on one show. Just because
now they're talking about doing 12 pay-per-views a year now. You're not making established money enough to do this.
Who's gonna
How many times you're gonna draw in Chicago? Like Chicago.
Last thing I'm gonna say. I want to say one last thing, because I want to say because I'm about to.
I got to dip out too.
Yeah. I want to say one last thing before I roll. Another thing that's killing AEW as well is you know, when they had 4 pay-per-views a month, 4 pay-per-views a year, they had Revolution, Full Gear, Double or Nothing, All Out. When they started throwing everything else into the mix, that was another thing that, you know, tore them down. That's what makes, you know, AEW different from WWE as well. You know, WWE got a pay-per-view every month. You know, that's cool, but AEW got their own 4, and now they got Wrestle Dream, and they got another show. If they could just stick to the 4 events, or just make the other shows that they work.
Hang on.
But yeah,
to play off your thing, Dre, he makes a valid point. Dre made a valid point. If you've got 12 pay-per-views, if Tony's going to go down that path and the network's putting pressure on him, that's going to make this worse.
Mm-hmm. And he hasn't even got a guaranteed network standpoint yet. So it's like already.
But here's the other thing. There's discussion. Warner Discovery is getting sold again.
Mm-hmm.
If that happens,
you're gonna be like, what Vince McMahon got to do with TKO?
No, I smell 2001 again.
Yep, I told you.
And the only thing I will say, to summarize what Dre said, was this. He bought Ring of Honor. He had the same pay-per-view formula for those, didn't schedule them in conjunction with AEW. He spaced it out. Right idea, 2 separate brands. Now you're throwing in all this shit. Guess what? Look what you did. You shit the bed.
All right, y'all.
All right, man. We got to do a victory lap.
Yeah.
Let's go. Let's go, bro. All right. Anybody want last words? Brian, go ahead, bro.
Listen, I really appreciate coming on. It's always fun, man. The conversation will be awesome in the show. Hope everybody really enjoyed it as well. I like talking about all this stuff. One thing, you know, you're all fans, man, and we do want to see everybody, you know, do good, I feel. But hey, listen, Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk is tonight. You know, to come join the club too. Commission Talk's always welcome to join. You know, Beeline Entertainment, ENT. We got 50 well, not 50, but top horror shows we just ranked, and I had some crazy shit happen on my show, so definitely go check that out. And yo, listen, we love you guys, man. Thank you so much for having me on, and peace.
All right, man. Appreciate it.
Later.
All right, Eric. Go ahead, bro.
Well, you're going to want to see the Asylum Saturday, because lately I haven't been keeping in order certain people who have fallen victim to the chair. If you watch the season premiere, Meltzer got it. Last week, I'm sorry, Uncle Fats. I love you. I'm sorry. Nia had to get it. But this week, I couldn't hold it anymore. Vince Russo, it's your ass. You're gonna have to tune in to find out. But overall, like you said, but Warren, I'm gonna leave this in closing.
Go ahead.
As our illustrious guest said, and we've all agreed the competition is good. But I'm now looking at it with a fresh lens, and I'm saying, Tony Khan, lay off the blow and get your head back. And why the fuck am I seeing The Rock and Roman Reigns on my screen?
Hey, man. Anything could happen. You just saw that. That was the worst gimmick at the time, and it gave him to be the number one.
As turned into this. Till the end of time, who booked this shit? So, folks, y'all know what to do. We're all over. Oh, good Lord. Yep. I could see that happening. Oh God.
GOAT status.
I could see that. But overall, you know how to find us on the socials. You know where we're at. I mean, it was good to be here this week. Shout out to the boss for popping in, Christy, everybody that joined the chat. Show everybody some love. Buy some merch. Hook our sponsors up with some support. I mean, hell, folks. Why not?
Yeah. Hey, man. Always a pleasure, man. Eric, thank you for joining us. Like I said, the chair is always welcome. You let me know. We'll get it set up. Guys, as you know, go check out the Wrestling Asylum. Vince Russo is getting the electric chair. I would definitely agree with that one. Vince Russo, bro, is enough.
One last thing, bro. Listener discretion is ignored.
Uh-oh.
There will be 4-letter words aplenty. Some might even get combined. I have waited a long time to find
bro. Sounded like good stuff you were screaming at the TV about a London game. I don't know. Oh, buddy.
I am looking forward to talking and shredding the mutant child of Brian Alvarez and Dave Meltzer.
There you go. All right, man. Y'all check out the Wrestling Asylum on Saturday. And obviously you can check out the girls, the Charlie's, the Blackhearts Angels. You can check them out as well. Obviously, you can check out Blackheart and his group on Friday night at 11:15 p.m. Eastern time. Also, guys, I know a lot of people ask. My guest this week is going to be Chris Keys and the band Engineered Society Project, man. That was going to be an awesome episode. We just made the announcement today. Music video will play before the episode, so check that out. Guys, this has been another one. Shout out to Dubby. Shout out to Ultimate Max. Also, I want to say thank you to everybody that's done thoughts and prayers, everything regarding my son. Personally, I've been going through an emotional roller coaster with that, but I want to thank everyone that has bought a t-shirt, stuff like that. It's been absolutely amazing to me. But guys, thank y'all for joining Commission Talks. We went way over the rail. I can't believe we went a full hour on one topic. But guys, this is another one. We love y'all, and we will see y'all next week. I think it'll either be on Dre's or on the Off the Top Ropes podcast. I don't know if Shiz is going to be able to do it due to work issues or anything like that. But guys, thank y'all for watching. We love y'all, and we will see y'all next week. Later.